The market sells off but holds support and rallies. Are the bulls ready to take control? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so no video yesterday. I have a family emergency that is ongoing right now, and it is going to take some of my time coming up. So my schedule may be a little erratic. I may be missing some days making videos for the market. My family is my number one priority, and I will put them first, and then the market will be here when I get back. So I hope you understand if I don't have videos out over the next couple of weeks. Should be good this week, but next week I may be missing some days. So just to give you a heads up, I'll try to keep everybody updated on my schedule, but there may be some missing video days coming up in the next couple of weeks. Okay, on to the market. The market sold off today down into the support area, and the ES held its support well, while the Nasdaq dipped a little bit below its support and then rallied. So now we have to ask ourselves, are the bulls taking control of the market? I'll get into that in just one second. But first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the Nasdaq. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so we did pull down into support and then rally up from there. However, the structures in both markets don't really strike me as super impulsive, so I'm a little bit wary of where we're at. So let's jump into the charts and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 5-minute futures chart for the S&P 500. And as you can see, we're counting this move as all of the first wave up. And then we pulled back here and held the 618 essentially on the ES and then started to rally higher. So typically what you would look for here is a couple things. First, you would look for the 1-2 extensions to set up your pivot. So off this low, you come up and measure the top of 1 and down to the bottom of 2, which I've already done. You can see these dotted lines. They measure up to the top and then down to the bottom of 2. And that gives us our minor pivot area. So what we're looking for now is wave 1 of 3, okay, and then a pullback in 2 of 3, and then we're looking for wave 3 of 3 to break through this pivot. So typically what you see is a wave 1 of 3 will go to the 0.5 or 0.618 extension of waves 1 and 2. So right now they just pushed through the 0.5 here and they're pushing up a little higher. So 3980 is the next target higher. We would look for this wave 1 to hit. And then we would look for a pullback in wave 2 of 3. And that pullback should hold the 3895 area. And as this moves up, that will move up as well. So if this continues to push higher, it's going to probably need to hold 3,900 or more, just depending on where this tops. But right now, where it's at 39.8 or 38.95 is our lowest end support. So here is the issue with what I'm seeing. This structure here is not terribly impulsive. However, it can be defined as a leading diagonal. You have an ABC up for 1 here, an ABC down for 2, an ABC up for 3. ABC down for 4, and now you're getting an ABC up for 5. So you could have a leading diagonal here. Looks good on the ES chart for that, actually. It's not a bad-looking structure for a diagonal. If that's the case, once we do top, you'll see a sharp sell-off because that's how diagonals work. They're kind of a rising wedge is another term for them, but you see a sharp sell-off that needs to hold support. And again, that support should be around 38.95 to 3900 at the low end. It can hold well above that, but that should be the low end where it holds. So if this is going to be our leading diagonal up, then we would look for that pullback. If that pullback holds support, then we should get ready for launch and look for wave 3 of 3 to move through this pivot directly. Okay, if it can get over the pivot, which is 3980 up to 4005.50, if it breaks through that pivot, we should expect it to push up toward at least 4046, and more likely we would like to see it hit 4087, which is the 1236 extension and a very common wave 3 of 3 target. So if we get a standard wave 1 of 3 here and then a pullback into support and you start to see it rally again, it's a great time to buy because you have a very well-defined risk reward. You can buy down here at 38 or 39.15 to 3900, somewhere in that range. You know that this low of wave 2 is your stop, okay? And you know that the high, your target, is 40.87. So it's a really good spot, the 1-2-1-2 setup to buy because you have a well-defined risk reward and you get to try to catch a wave 3 of 3, which is the strongest of the waves. So again, we would be looking for this to possibly push higher up towards this 39.80 region or even a little higher. It can push up into the pivot some too. and then look for a pullback that holds support. And then if we get that and we start to see a rally, that is a great place to buy, with this being your stop down here, this wave 2, and your target being the 1236 up here at 40.87. Now, if they do not hold support, okay, and they break this low, we should expect a retest of this low and probably breaking it and looking for a move down towards that 37.50 region we've been talking about. So this could be another fake out. And given the structure, we know diagonals are not something we put a lot of credence in. So given this structure, I do want to see a pullback hold support, because if we do get a pullback and it can't hold support, it should be a pretty quick fall down towards that 37.50 region. Okay, so again, just to recap, looking for it to push up as high as this 39.80 or even a little higher into the pivot area, and then get a pullback. That pullback should hold support at around 38.95 to 3900, just depending on how high this goes. The higher this goes, the more that support moves up. And then if it can hold support and move directly back through this pivot, okay, on its way to our 46 target, or I'm sorry, 40.87 target, then that is a strong indication that the bulls may have control of the market at that point. Okay, again, if they can't hold support down here and they continue to fall, we should see a pretty direct fall towards that 37.50 region. Now over on the Nasdaq, this is where I see the fly in the ointment. Okay, this structure here off of this low, okay, is very overlapping and very sloppy. Could you argue it's a diagonal? Yeah, but it's really not what I would consider an impulsive structure. So this really makes me nervous for the move up, because this structure here is not ideal and is not as clean as it is on ES, which is still a diagonal on ES, which is untrustworthy. And then you also have the fact that the Nasdaq moved through its 764 support here. And even though that's acceptable and this is a perfectly good wave 2 down here, okay, it is still a little deeper than you would expect to see normally. So even with that, we're still going to go over the bullish setup and what we need to see in order to believe that the bulls have taken control on the market. So again, we got our pullback here in wave 2. We got this sloppy structure up that has hit the 0.5. It can push up again as high as the 0.618, same as on the ES, and that is 11,936. If they can push it up there, pull back and hold support at around 11,650, and then push back up through this pivot that comes in at 11,936 up to 12,021. If they come back and push through this pivot, okay, and target at least 12,159, but more accurately, we'd like to see 12,297. If they can hit one of those targets, all right, that's a very good sign for the bulls. And then we would look for a back test of the pivot. And if that holds and we get another new high, then I'll feel pretty good about the bulls being in control of the market. But until then, I'm really sketchy about this structure being impulsive, because it's not an impulsive structure. It's not a textbook impulsive structure. If anything, it's a diagonal, a leading diagonal. And even then, it's not my favorite structure. So we have our bullish setup. We know what we're looking for the bulls to succeed. But again, I'm treading lightly here, as this structure off the lows is at best a diagonal. And if it is a diagonal, then we will see support hold and a move back up through the pivot at that point. Now, if they pull back and they can't hold that 11,650 support, then it's very likely they break these two lows and make a new low to build off of at that point. Guys, if you like the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. Okay, there's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you right over to my website. Once you get over there, check out the membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial, because I want you guys to get in there, make sure you love it, and become part of our trading family before you ever spend a penny. All right, in our first room, it's my Invest with Jacob room. You get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, as well as all of your Elliott Wave questions answered. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades last from a few days to a few months, which is not quite as often as a day trading room does. But if you are looking for day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In his room, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. It's one of those things you kind of have to see to fully understand, because it's a unique trading style that I've learned from him. So that's why we give you that 7-day free trial to get in there and check it out. He's also built a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, and he's trading mini ES futures to show you how to build a small account with disciplined trading methods into a large retirement or savings account. He's averaging 3 to 4% gains per week in there and is absolutely crushing it. So we would really love to have you in the rooms so we can make some money together. All right, guys, key takeaways for today. We are looking for the bulls, okay? From their standpoint, we're looking for them to push it up here to the 39.80 or even a little higher level into the pivot, and then pull back and hold support around that 38.95, 3900 level. If they can hold that and then push back through the pivot, okay, that's a very strong sign for the bulls. However, if they do pull back and break support, it becomes more likely we head down towards that 37.50 region. Over on the Nasdaq, same type of deal. We're looking for the bulls to find a top here in wave 1 of 3 potentially, pull back and hold support. And if the bulls can do that and then push back up through the minor pivot, which is 11,936 up to 12,021, that's a very strong sign for the bulls. However, a pullback and failure of support here would likely lead to new lows. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.